Hello everybody, I'm Mike Salzman, and today I'm going to demonstrate the final build of Desert Bus 2600. I just finished programming it a few minutes ago. I already have it copied here on my Harmony cart. I want to take a couple moments to show some of the finer features of the game. This actual build is a debug build. It has a couple extra features in it which will allow me to show some of the finer features of the game that you wouldn't normally be able to experience unless you're playing the game. If you're familiar with it, the game does take a hell of a long time to complete, about 8 hours, maybe a little bit longer if you're not paying attention. But I'm not going to make an 8-hour video showing the actual gameplay. It took me less than 8 hours to actually make the game, but I'm not crazy enough to actually sit there and play it all the way through. So with this debug version, I'll be able to accelerate some of the mileage and things like that to demonstrate some of the landscapes and some of the other things that changes as you play the game. So I'll go ahead and turn off some lights here and we'll get started. Now I'm using actual 7800 hardware, but this is a 2600 game. And as mentioned a moment ago, this is a debug version, which will allow me to accelerate some of the mileage to show you some of those finer features. So we'll go ahead and load the game. Of course, I gotta plug my stuff. And here we're at the title screen. Look at that finely detailed sun and cattle skull. Desert Bus 2600. So to start the game, you go ahead and press the fire button. Get a road sign, Tucson to Las Vegas, 407 miles. And so we begin. Now, if you're familiar with the game, the bus cannot go past 45 miles per hour. So, with that in mind, it takes about 1.5 minutes of driving at top speed to travel the distance of 1 mile. So we'll go ahead and travel that 1 mile. Your odometer at the bottom of the screen will change as you progress. Now, just like the real game, the bus does veer on its own. So if you're not paying attention, you will run into the sand on either side, and if that happens, you will have to steer out of the sand, and you'll lose precious minutes of your life. So driving to Las Vegas does take quite a while, especially at 45 miles per hour. You'll be staring at that sun for quite a while. Alright, we just went the distance of 1 mile. Only 406 more to go. Which, of course, I'm not going to wait here and drive that long. If you take your hand off the controller, the bus will slow down to a stop. The horn feature is still there, so you can blow the horn if you want. Now, with this debug version, I'm able to accelerate some of the miles so I can demonstrate some of the things. First thing I want to demonstrate is that as you continue along the road, about every 100 miles, the sun and the light around the sun will start to change. So I don't know if you saw that, but it just changed a little bit. Now we just went the distance of the 407 miles, and we're actually on the return trip. Now, in this debug mode, it actually went past the 407. There's another trick I can do here that will bring us right to it. You'll see this screen when it's time to drive back, and then you get to go again. This time in the opposite direction, so the cactus has moved to the other side of the screen. And again, the landscape will continue to change in color as you drive. Actually, I should say the skyscape. The actual landscape doesn't change, but the skyscape does. So we'll go ahead and accelerate those mileage. See, it just changed a little bit, changed a little bit more, changed a little bit more. Last thing to show here is what actually happens when you get to the end of the game. There is an ending screen, which I'll demonstrate here. However, I'm going to blur it out for you. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I want people to actually play this game and get to the end to see what the actual ending screen looks like. So there you have it, Desert Bus for Atari 2600. Bye!